Hey everybody, this is Ryan. Welcome to morning exercises. This is a new thing that we're going to start doing bit by bit over the next few months. We want to try to get everyone moving around throughout the day. We want to give you simple exercises you can do at your desk, you can do in the hallway, and we hope that you will get a group of co-workers together on a daily basis or every other day and start moving more. So today we're going to start with morning mobility exercises. Very simple stuff. We have a few exercises. You're going to do each one for about a minute. Shouldn't take you more than 6 or 7 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, we're going to start off with a very simple exercise called the heel to toe walk, and it's basically just exaggerating how you work or how you walk every single day. So what I'm going to do is take pronounced steps, and I'm going to overemphasize my heel strike and the lift on my toe as I walk. This is great for mobility and also stability and balance in the ankle and the lower leg. You'll notice if you take it slow and steady, this is not as easy as it looks. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I'll take a step. Again, I'm going to pull my toes towards my shin, really pronounce that heel strike, and I'm going to shift the balance of my weight and try to balance on one leg and then shift all my weight onto my toe. So I do a little lift. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. I'll turn around and do a few more repetitions. But again, take this slow, take a little bit bigger steps than usual, and you'll notice it's not quite as easy as you would think. And if you do this for a solid minute, you'll really feel those ankles and calves and shins working and also loosening up. So that's the heel to toe walk. Okay guys, next exercise is called the Inline Toe Touch, and what we're trying to simulate here is you having to bend over and pick something up. We're going to do it one leg at a time to work on each individual side. So as you bend over, if you've got a bit of an imbalance, you're going to favor one side. So we're going to do this in an alternating fashion. And all I really want to do is take a good sized step. I want to keep my legs pretty straight. A slight bend is okay. And I'm going to make sure that my back, my spine is nice and tall and long, and then everything's straight. And the only thing I'm going to use is my hips. So I'm basically going to push my rear end back as far as I can and simulate picking something up. I don't have to touch the ground. Don't overextend yourself. Just push the hips back as far as you can until you feel a real good stretch in the back of the legs. That'll do it. And then you come back up. Okay, so I'll simulate a few here. So again, spine nice and long. I'm going to push my hips back as far as I can before I feel a real good stretch. It doesn't take much if you keep the spine straight. I come back up by pushing my hips forward. I take another step, push the hips back. Real good stretch, hips forward, and I just alternate. Again, I'm looking to do this for about 60 seconds. Go at your own pace. There's no rush with any of this. We're really just working on getting the blood flowing, working on my mechanics, and also improving my mobility. As you get better, you might get a little bit further down, but again, getting all the way down to the floor is not necessarily a necessary goal at this point in time. We just want you to feel the stretch. So give that a shot for 60 seconds. Next exercise, guys, is called the Inline Lunge. Now the lunge usually elicits fear from most people, but give it a shot. We're going to give you a modified version first, and then show you the first version. Do what you're capable of doing, what you're comfortable with. The most important thing is that I stay tall all the way through my hips the entire time and let my legs do the work. Okay? So a modified version of the Inline Lunge is basically, first of all, me making sure that both my feet are always facing forward. I'm going to take a big step forward, and I'm going to try to extend or drive that back heel into the ground while staying tall and trying to bend into a lunge. As you see, it doesn't take much, but I feel a real good stretch on the front side of the back hip. Okay, so I'm stepping forward with my right, real good stretch in the left hip. So I take a step, bend the knee. I try to tuck my hips in by pulling my belly button to my nose and trying to tuck my rear end in as well by activating my glutes. Take another step, and I'm really just extending and driving that heel through the ground and staying tall. Now on the way back, I'll show you the full version. Same idea, I'm just going to go deeper. So I take a good sized step, and now, as opposed to trying to keep my heel on the ground, I'm going to try to drop my knee straight to the ground while staying nice and tall. Okay? My front foot stays planted on the ground, the whole thing stays planted on the ground, and I'm going to use the middle portion to my heel, middle portion of my foot to my heel to be my real base of support. So I'm going to drive or drop my hips straight down, staying tall, trying to tuck my hips in. I feel a real good stretch going all the way down the thigh and the hip. Come back up, take another step. And for me, it's difficult. I have to really tuck the hips in before I drop. I'll tuck the hips in, stay tall, drop all the way down. I feel a great stretch going all the way down the leg. And then I'll do one more repetition. And again, tuck those hips in. Again, take that one nice and slow. Try to do a full 60 seconds, but go at your own pace. Okay? Give it a shot. Okay guys, next stretch is a Piriformis Stretch. Okay? It's a small muscle that attaches to the hip. It's basically a glute muscle, and it's very sensitive to tightening up on us. This might look a little intimidating. If you don't feel comfortable doing this stretch, we're going to give you a modified version right after this. So just hold on, okay? Basically with the Piriformis Stretch, I'm going to find a table or a desk, and I'm going to throw my foot up on there, okay? I want to throw my foot up on there in a way that the heel or the underside of the foot faces to my side. You'll see that my base leg is nice and straight right now, okay? And my knee, my lower leg is basically almost parallel to the ground. What I'm going to do to elicit the stretch is bend my base leg. And I'm going to go down as far as I can comfortably while keeping my back nice and straight and long. If I feel that I can't get all the way down to the table, just grab a little towel or a pillow or a lunch pail, anything, and I'm going to put it underneath my knee to support that a little bit. And again, I'm going to stay as tall and as long as I can from the hips all the way to the top of the head, and I'm just going to bend that base leg to give me a real good stretch in the glute. And if I can, I'm going to bend from the hips and lean forward, okay, which really gives me a great stretch. You might be able to get there, you might not. So wherever you feel a good stretch, stay there. Wait till you progress, and then try to go for the lean. But this is ultimately what you'll want to do is lean in from the hip. So that's a Piriformis Stretch. Make sure you do it on both legs. If you feel one leg is tighter than the other, then spend more time on that tight leg. Give it a shot, be careful, and enjoy. Okay guys, here's that modified version of the Piriformis Stretch. If the table stretch just didn't look feasible for you, you just weren't comfortable with it, like I said, by all means don't do it. Here's a really easy version that you can start off with. You can do it at any point in time throughout the day. So I'm going to sit in a chair. I'm going to get my back off the backrest, my butt off the corner of the chair and off the seat almost a little bit. All I want to do is get as tall as I can. I'm going to put one ankle on the opposite knee, and I'm just going to sit up nice and tall. Okay, it puts me in a very similar position to where I was on the table, but now I'm just seated. Okay, and I don't have to worry about falling. So from here, I might just feel a great stretch from a tall seated position with my ankle on my knee. If not, I can try to put a little bit of pressure on the knee with my elbow, or I can just lean forward from the hips again. Again, not bending my spine, but leaning forward from the hips, keeping my spine nice and tall and long. I'm a little tight this morning, so this is a great stretch for me right now. So if you didn't feel comfortable with the table, give the modified version a chance, and we think you'll feel the results. Thank you. Okay guys, next exercise is what's called a T-spine rotation, a thoracic spine rotation. Thoracic spine basically is the part of the back that's in between the shoulder blades. It's the upper side of the back. A lot of the time we end up with rounded shoulders all day long because we sit so much. This is a great way to open the thoracic spine back up. We're going to steal a little move from yoga, and basically I'm going to take a staggered stance like we've done in some of the other exercises. And again, I'm going to push my hips back. I'll just show you real quick. I'm going to push my hips back. I'm not bending over. I'm pushing my rear end back, which causes me to bend over. I'm going to put my left hand inside my left leg. Okay? So from this position, push my hips back, left hand inside the left leg, right hand's going to hang straight to the ground. I'm going to take a big deep breath, slow steady breath into my belly, and as I exhale, I'm going to put pressure on the inside of my leg, keep my hips facing forward, and I'm going to open up my chest with letting my arm follow. And I'm going to watch my hand the entire time. So slow steady breath in. I'm going to exhale, put pressure on the inside of that leg, and I'm going to open up my chest, and I'm going to actively reach for the ceiling while I'm also reaching for the ground. So I basically am trying to keep as much distance in between my two fingertips as possible. So if I really actively reach in both directions, I feel a great stretch through that upper back. I can hold this, or I can just do repetitions, okay? So breathe back in, exhale, open up, keeping my shoulders away from my ears. Give a real good reach, breathing back in again, exhale, and repeat. And since we're trying to do a minute for each stretch, do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on another side. If you notice that one side is a lot tighter than the other, then maybe 20 seconds on one side and 40 seconds on the tight side, and then do some extra practice throughout the day or throughout the week. So that is the T-spine rotation. Okay guys, last exercise, just the old-fashioned arm circle. But we're going to give you a few different cues than you might be used to. Most people think of an arm circle as just using the shoulders. We want you to really emphasize the entire shoulder girdle. So as I do my arm circle, I'm trying to rotate my scapula, my shoulder blades, all the way around with my arms, okay? So we'll do 30 seconds of forward arm circles. If you'll notice, I'm really rotating the entire shoulder girdle. I won't put you through a whole 30 seconds of that, but I'm taking it slow and steady and getting as big of a circle as I can, really using that thoracic spine that we just talked about in the T-spine rotation. So that is a forward circle, then I'll just rotate and go back. Really trying to use the entire shoulder girdle. You'll get a totally different feel from getting the shoulders involved and not just the arms, okay? So 30 seconds forward, 30 seconds back, and that will conclude the arm circles.